So what can you actually learn from the Titanic sub that imploded, and condolences to the family in regards to your mortgage repayments? Now, obviously, there shouldn't be any correlations between the catastrophe with the Titanic sub implosion to mortgages in Australia. But because I did English Advanced in high school and I'm a master of metaphor and similes, let's give it a crack. So I've drawn a diagram over here which represents the deep sea, and over here we have the surface level, and over here we have our little sub, and this is also a metaphor for your mortgage. Now, if you're dumb enough to get a mortgage, which means you've entered the sub like those 4 to 5 billionaires that enter the sub with their bloody Xbox player control to see some deep sea shipwreck of the apparent Titanic. Well, the shipwreck is a very close analogy to Australia's dream of home ownership, which is kind of shipwrecked at the moment with the housing affordability and crazy interest rates. As you can see here, there are like 13 lines. So basically these levels, every time it goes lower and lower, represents the consecutive interest rate hike. And at the moment, your sub is at this point at the moment. I did a bit of Wikipedia research on deep sea diving and deep sea submarine submerging. Basically, at this level of the ocean floor, the sub is actually at 6,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Obviously, these 4 to 5 billionaires are actually, mincemeat over here because it imploded, as you know, condolences again. But this is a great analogy to the rest of us who have mortgages and are feeling that 6,000 pounds of pressure per day with the bloody high interest rate repayments. Now, to draw the analogy to a full circle, because I did English Advanced in high school, and by the way, I did ESL, so I progressed a lot as a student in high school. But to draw the lesson from these 4 to 5 billionaires that carked it and mincemeat, what can we apply to our mortgage repayments and the lesson drawn from there? Well, lesson number 1 is choose the right submarine. These guys obviously chose a submarine that is controlled by a bloody Xbox, which I call, if you draw the analogy, people choosing mortgages that have no frill products. There's no annual fee mortgage home loans, no offset accounts, just redraw, and it's plain shit. Well, those people who have those no frill Franklin sub mortgages, well, they're crushed. They're mincemeat like these guys over here. But then a lot of clients who read my book, Keep Calm and Mortgage One, which is the #1 bestseller for education finance on Amazon at the moment. And if they go to part 2 and chapter 7, Different Boats, Different Banks, which is page 169, it talks about the different subs you can enter in terms of submerging to your final home ownership goals. I found that most of my clients that applied my strategy have built a sub that has an offset account with a flotational CPR strategy, which stands for Crisis Prevention Repayment System, which allows them to submerge deeper and deeper into the ocean regardless of the consecutive interest rate hikes. Prevents them from ending up like these rich billionaires over here are implosion because of the pressure of inflation, high interest rates, and the cost of living. Because guys, this is the plain reality. This over here is called the ocean of debt in my book, okay? And when you get into that submarine to enter the ocean of debt, the surrounding waters is engulfed by the RBA's influence. And the furthermore they increase interest rates, the furthermore the pressure goes on your little submarine. So the question I want to ask you guys is your mortgage or the submarine that you're operating in at the moment, is it strong enough to withstand another 13 interest rate hike? Because I know this month there was a rate pause, but we all know what Mr. RBA, Peter Lowe, is doing. He raises one time, pauses, and then what's next? A raise. The question I want to ask you is, can your sub, which basically most people have imploded at level 12, can it go to level 13? Will the 6,000 pounds of pressure squash your bloody sub? And the last question I want to ask you is, before your Titanic sub implodes, what will be your final moments? Jump in the comments, let me know what you think.